Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to Carabao Cup predictions. It's the fourth round, Sophie. The winners of these ties will go through to the quarterfinals.
I know. It's getting good.
It's getting interesting. If your team's still in here, I'm sure it's exciting. Do make sure, of course, guys, to share your predictions down below in the comments. There's just 8 games to go through today, so it won't be a particularly long video. Do make sure to show your support nonetheless, though. We'll go for 700 likes on this one. Do make sure, of course, to hit the thumbs up button. Do make sure, of course, while you're there, to hit the subscribe button, as it is free to do, and it would really be appreciated if you like and subscribe. And do make sure to look out for a live stream on the channel for the draw for the next round of the Carabao Cup. Let's get into the predictions. So we'll start in Devon for Exeter City versus Middlesbrough. We might be able to stream this game on the Tuesday night, so do join us on the channel for that one. It does seem as if there is a pretty clear favourites for this one, Soph, but let's not take away from Exeter City beating Luton Town from the Premier League in the previous round. Great result. They held on there. They got a goal really late on and they've progressed now. But in League One, Exeter City are not in great form. They've been falling down the table somewhat, and they're going up against Middlesbrough, who in the Championship have been in some really good form. But could there be an upset? Possibly, but I'm not going to go for it. I do think Middlesbrough progress here, and it'll be interesting to see who the winner of this game gets in the next round, because the next round's the quarter-final. Then it's getting interesting. I'm going to go Exeter City 1, Middlesbrough 3. I do think Exeter score, but Middlesbrough have been in better form, and they're a league above.
Yeah, I mean, that would be something to just get a goal, to be honest, against a much better team, let's be real. And that's why I see Middlesbrough winning. They've been good in the Cup, they've been good in the league. I can't not back them. 2-0.
2-0. Okay, right, next up, Soph, it's League 2 Mansfield versus League 1 Port Vale. Now, on paper, a lot of people might be looking at this game thinking, oh, this isn't the most glamorous fixture. But I tell you what I like about it, we're guaranteed to get a League 1 or League 2 team in the quarterfinals. It's very interesting. Mansfield are flying in League 2. They are absolutely flying. Mansfield are unbeaten still. They have been in fantastic form. I watched them only like a couple of weeks ago against Notts County in League 2. They tore them apart 4-1. I think they've got a real chance of going up and a real chance of progressing here. Yeah. But they take on Port Vale. Now, Port Vale are a league above. Their form's been not great. They sit mid-table at the moment, but they are that league above. And I wonder if that makes a difference for this one. I think this is close, so if Mansfield are in better form, but Port Vale have the advantage of being a division above. Massive opportunity, as I say, to get to the quarterfinals of this competition. I think I'm going to lean towards the away side. I don't know what it is. They are a division above. I think that's what it is, but it's almost too close to call. But I will give this one to Port Vale. Mansfield 1, Port Vale 2.
No, I'm going to back a 1-1 draw. Mansfield progress for me.
Mansfield on pens.
Yeah, you're at home. I just feel like there's going to be a good buzz for this game, and of course we don't know who's going to go through and who you'll get next round, but that's what you've got to be looking at. Get through this game and then, could be a nice big payday.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm going to back them to win, well, to draw, but then to progress on through pens, so yeah, Mansfield for me.
Mansfield on penalties, and they did beat League 1 Peterborough on penalties in the previous round, so like I say, massive game. The winner of that will probably get Premier League opposition next. We shall see. Next up, Sophie, let's go down to the capital. It's an all Premier League matchup now, and it's West Ham United versus Arsenal. Now, West Ham United did get their hands on silverware last season, winning the Europa Conference League. Tell you what, not impossible they could get far in this competition and maybe win this one. It will be interesting to see. Some of the big teams have already been knocked out of this competition. Yeah. I do make Arsenal favourites though. Arsenal obviously performing very well in the Premier League at the moment. They're gunning for the title. But with it being at West Ham, does that give West Ham a better chance? Maybe. I think it'll be close, but I am going to just edge the Gunners on this one. It would be interesting to see West Ham get through, but I will go for the favourites. West Ham 1, Arsenal 2.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see whether the managers rotate their squad much. I don't think they're going to rest many big players here, purely because it's one of your best chances of getting some silverware this season. So, saying that, I'm going to have to back Arsenal, but I'm going to give West Ham a goal, and I can see it being quite a tight game actually, but Arsenal win for me. 2-1.
2-1. We're going the same on that one. It would be interesting to see Arsenal get their hands on silverware. They haven't done that for a few years. Next up, Soph, it's another all Premier League matchup on the South Coast. It's AFC Bournemouth versus Liverpool. Now, I always find Liverpool really difficult to predict in this competition because Jurgen Klopp can really rotate the team up a bit. But that said, they can still have some very decent players in that 11. AFC Bournemouth, with them having the home advantage, I don't think there's going to be a lot in this one, and I could see AFC Bournemouth possibly getting through. Would be interesting to see them get to the final of this competition. Wouldn't rule it out necessarily. I think Bournemouth have really got to focus on staying up in the Premier League this season, but I tell you what, I'm going to back them anyway. Like I say, Liverpool for me are favourites, but Bournemouth could do with a boost, could do with some confidence, and maybe they win this one with Liverpool rotating a bit. I'm going to go 1-0 to AFC Bournemouth.
Oh, wow. Okay, I don't know if Liverpool will rotate that much. I know Jurgen Klopp does like to, and maybe he'll slightly underestimate Bournemouth, but if he plays a fairly strong squad, I can see it being quite convincing. So I'm going to back Liverpool to win. 3-0.
3-0, okay. Right, we're going back towards the capital again, Sophie, to Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea take on Blackburn Rovers. Now, in my opinion, if there was to be an upset from, a division below, possibly beating the division above, I'd look at this game because Blackburn have been in pretty decent form in the Championship. And Chelsea, they can seem vulnerable, but I don't know, maybe just a bit recently they've looked a bit better.
They have,
and in the previous round of this competition, I think they knocked out Brighton. So that's pretty good going because I actually fancied Brighton to win that game. I reckon Blackburn give this a real go and I wouldn't rule out an upset, but I will give Chelsea the win. And maybe Pochettino can lead this team towards a final, which would be nice for Chelsea. They could do with some silverware. I'll go for Chelsea 2-1.
Yeah, I'm going to say slightly more convincing, but I am going to give Blackburn a goal as well, just because they have been doing quite well in the Championship. But annoyingly for them, Chelsea have just started to hit a bit of decent form, so I can't see them progressing. So Chelsea 3-1. Chelsea
3-1. Okay, Sophie, let's head towards Goodison Park, where Everton take on Burnley. Now in the Premier League, this would be a massive relegation 6-pointer. Two sides battling to stay up this season. But it is in the Cup, so maybe not so much pressure, but they could both do with a nice little distraction in the Cup, couldn't they? And obviously one of these will go through. Who will it be? It's difficult to call. I may be just leaning towards Everton with them having the home advantage, but I really don't know. I think this one's on a knife edge. I tell you what, I'll give it to Everton. I think Everton with the home advantage maybe just squeeze through this one. Burnley in the Premier League do have a decent run of fixtures, I believe, up until Christmas, so that's where their focus might be. I'm going to go Everton 1-0.
Okay, I'm going to back Everton to progress, but on pens. I'm going to say a 1-1. I can see it being quite a tight game. Obviously, both teams need to focus on the league and just staying up. But, yeah, I can see Everton progressing, but they're going to have to do it the hard way and on penalties. But they progress. 1-1.
1-1. Okay, next up we are going to Portman Road, Sophie, and I do like the look of this one. Ipswich Town versus Premier League Fulham. Ipswich Town in the last round knocked out Premier League Wolves, and in the Championship they are flying.
Yep, they are.
9 points clear at the time of recording this with a game in hand. They are absolute monsters in the Championship right now, and I really think this one's even. I don't know who the favourites will be in the bookmakers' eyes, but Fulham are a good team. Let's not, get too carried away. They are still the Premier League team here, but they're pretty much on a par with Wolves in the Premier League. There's not a lot between Fulham and Wolves, and Ipswich knocked out Wolves. I think Ipswich might actually win this, Soph.
Got a good chance.
Every week they're looking more and more like a team that's heading towards the Premier League, and I think they could beat another Premier League team here. I'll go Ipswich 2, Fulham 1.
Yeah, this is a hard one because Ipswich, as we've said, are in very, very good form in the Championship, but Fulham are a good Premier League side now. So this, I don't know if this is evenly matched, possibly. I know the bookies are probably going to favour Fulham, but you can't ignore Ipswich's form and just the togetherness they've got. And I'm going to back a draw, so another 1-1. But Ipswich on penalties.
Wow, yeah. Ipswich do it again. Interesting. We're both going for Ipswich.
Yeah.
You're doing it on penalties. You love a penalty shootout, by the way. So many pens in there. Right, one game left, Sophie, and I suppose you could say save the best till last. Manchester United versus Newcastle United. This was the final of this competition last season, and Manchester United won that game 2-0 to pick up the silverware. Newcastle United, to me, Sophie, are looking more and more likely to be a team picking up silverware pretty soon.
Yeah.
If not this season, the next season. I've got no worries about that. It will happen soon. And I think I might lean towards them here. In the Premier League, Newcastle have looked better than Manchester United. In the Champions League, Newcastle look more likely to qualify than Manchester United, but Man United did get a win against Copenhagen last week as well. I think Newcastle might want a bit of revenge in this competition after what Manchester United did to them last season, especially in the final. So I think I'm going to lean towards the Geordies here. As I say, they want to get their hands on silverware. But at the same time, with Manchester United not doing great in the Premier League, they could do with getting their hands on silverware to save their season, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go for the Geordies. I'll go for an entertaining game. Man United 1, Newcastle 2.
This one I'm finding really hard to predict, because in the Premier League, I'd probably lean more towards Newcastle, but as we've said, you never know what can happen in the cup. I wouldn't be that surprised if Man United win. So I don't want to back another draw. I'm going to go for a bit of an upset in my eyes. Man United win 2-1.
Oh God, that's how bad it's got, that you're backing Man United and saying it's an upset. Jesus, that's how bad things are at Old Trafford. Well, there you go, guys. Sophie's going for an upset Manchester United win. Do make sure to get your 8 Carabao Cup predictions down below. Like I say, it's just 8 fixtures to predict and 8 teams going through to the quarter-finals next. And like I say, do join us for a Carabao Cup live stream over the next couple of days. Plenty of football still to come. Do make sure, as I say, to hit that like button, and if you haven't already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Thank you for joining me, Sophie.
Thank you.
We will see you all in the next one. Peace out.